All right, guys, welcome on. Welcome, everybody. I'll give you guys some time to jump in. Welcome.
Yeah, man.
Welcome, Matty. Good to have you.
Yeah, man. I'm don't worry, I'm ready for tomorrow, yeah? Just let you know.
Yeah. No problem. We'll sort it out. Catch chat to you after and we can sort that out for sure.
How have you been though? You right?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man. I'm good, bro.
Good, good.
Good. All right, we're on the live. Welcome, everybody on the live. Welcome, people. Welcome, everybody. Hi, everybody. Who remembers that?
Hi everybody.
Yo, that's a memory right there. All right, so let's crack. Okay, people. So welcome to another live FX session. I know I've got the Ethereum chart on here. Uh, I gave this trade yesterday. If you were on any of my analysis session, you should have took this trade. I gave the entry to the student specifically, though. We had a very good entry between this range, and the rest is history. And Bitcoin's dropping in the same fashion too. Perfect line alignment. I think this might be the week, guys, that we get what we're waiting for. But anyway, let's get to other news. So USD CAD is still pushing long. I'm still on it on the other account. You can see that the price has almost hit the target where I said it should go. All right. If you guys jumped onto that one with me live, you should have. On my other account here, I do have it live going. But this was a very important trade again. That if you want to understand the liquidity in the market, there's so much I could say here. All right. Now, pound USD, guys, I'm in a short. I have 3 shorts on here right now. Pound USD, I believe, is going to give us the short that we're looking for. It's been a great week of trading, I think. I think it was right to not take any, like, not to go too heavy on. I don't like to go too heavy on Monday or Tuesday, especially when there's news around, because I think Tuesday is just a setup to get people stocked out for Wednesday, especially when there's news. And most of the best news that we get, guys, comes out on a Wednesday anyway. All right. So right now I have 3 positions deep. Now this account is a challenge account, so I can be more wild with it. I'm gonna flip this account again. I'll probably get it to about another 400% in by the end of the week. I am annoyed though. I should have took Ethereum, but I didn't get a chance to do it. I would have had another extra piece of profit here. Let's see what would have happened. I was only gonna put 0.01, and the stop loss is just this region right here. That's all we needed. Right now I would have been up £100, which on this account would have been fantastic, but it's okay. There's more trades to take. I'm in pound USD anyway. I'm putting my hands and feet into that instead. And I expect the price to give us a short. So pound USD, guys, very similar to what I was saying. I'm looking for a short on it. At the moment, the the key that we need to look for is this H4 area here. Now, this H4 supply zone, we've had a wickage here. Now, this wickage is very important because if I go to the H1, if you guys see on the hourly time frame here, we had another double top right here. So the price was in a place where we had liquidity here that wasn't taken. And we've had news at 11 o'clock. Now, it was medium impact news again. However, that's why I always say to you guys, check the news, because the market uses whatever news, the algorithm of the market will use whatever news to fulfill what it wants to do. Okay. We had a similar situation when I gave out the pound Swiss franc trade. When we went for the long, it was a fantastic long. That was a great trade, really good money on that. I really withdrew some money and really enjoyed that profit. That was, I would say, that was really clean and nice profit. I really like that trade a lot. Now, with pound USD, I expect it to go short. Again, look right here, guys. We have a set of equal lows just before this news comes out. Now, this news spike here came out from a speech, is a medium impact speech. And I believe it came out, if I pull up my charts here, the speech came out from a person called, let me get this for you, from the Bank of England's Saunders or Sanders. Okay, so Sanders' speech, I would like to know what the breakdown is, but Michael Sanders is appointed to a 3-year term as the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee. So we've had a very strong bullish movement. If you can see here, right now 1 o'clock on the server, we're 2 hours behind, so that would be 11 o'clock for us. But we've had this spike here, but this spike has a very purposeful piece of movement. Now, yesterday I did call a short on the live that you guys could jump into, but my only issue is that on the hourly time frame, guys, this I think now you're seeing why I like the hourly time frame a lot more. We had a double top here. So this double top was a short that it was strong. We had a very strong short. Then during, getting towards the end of the UK session into just solely US and then into Asian territory, the price kind of leveled out a bit. very strong short during the night, a pullback, and then a very strong short this morning. Now, this very strong short comes from the news of unemployment. Okay, so you can see that the news pieces are working in tandem. We've had a very strong short, which has put the price in a good area of demand. And then we've had a very strong long afterwards, and specifically this new spike from this speech. Now, it happened exactly at 11, which lets you know. Now, think about it, guys. If a new speech, if the price starts to move as soon as a speech happens, if you think about it logically, they've hardly said anything yet. So how can the price be moving? So this is what we call manipulation on the market. Now, if the price had moved, let's say a few moments after, look, if I put this right here on the 5 minute time frame, as soon as it hit 11 o'clock, we had the first spike in price. And you can see that the bodies of the candle become smaller and the wicks become larger as we get further to this point. Now, if you look at this area in blue, this area in blue was my maximum for taking the entry. So this is why I got in here. Now here, there's no time to go for exactly why I stopped the price here. But if you look at the accuracy of my price action analysis, you can see the price stopped exactly here. And now we have a short. Now, I should have taken my larger entry up here. Okay, I'm still having fun with the account, but I took it from here again at this pink line because we have price action here algorithmically, which suggests to me the price wouldn't really push too far back above here, but it still can do. And then I have this white line here by my equilibrium point that I expect for a third entry, and I might put the third entry on live because it looks like it's about to happen. Now, we are in good territory. The only thing I would say, guys, to be careful of, and this is highly important, is we do have a speech from, or which is the second part of, we have the Federal Reserve speech, which comes from Jerome Powell, which is at 2:30, and his speech is the second part of his testimony. Now, if you're not too sure what the testimony is, every single year, okay, the FOMC, the committee for the Federal Reserve, have to, especially the head of the Federal Reserve or the governor, which in this case is Governor Jerome Powell, has to testify to the government in in a lawful way what and how he's managed the Federal Reserve and the finances and etc. So that's his testimony. He has to testify every year. Now, usually is done annually or biannually. Okay. Sometimes it can even be, I've seen some ways almost every 3 months. All right. But usually I've seen that when they give out the reports, they're usually in February and July. So now we're in July. So we should really see this be happening right now. So anyway, with this price action here, this is why I took this entry up here. I wish I just put these entries a bit higher because it would have just been all right. But it doesn't really matter. Profit is profit either way. And I expect the price to continue. I guess it's because I'm using the strategy that I was talking about. Now, it's not really a strategy to say a trading strategy of price action analysis, but rather wisdom on how you can avoid psychological pain, or you can actually step into a trade full-fledged without getting yourself hurt. So in this case, with pound USD, when the price pulled back here to this area, I took the first short and I wanted to see if the price action is going to respect my analysis, which it has. And now we've kind of got into a range. We've got to the perfect area I was looking for. And now we've had a second sell. So now I do expect the price to continue short. My third entry is going to be at this alarm here. And probably I won't be putting any more trades on. I think 3 trades is enough. If I see something which is very promising or is very strongly in my favor for what I'm looking for, then I might take a fourth. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to overload the account in a dumb way. Okay. Again, our targets are still the same. So if you're on the live feed and you're following us, remember the target for pound USD is back to this order block here. On the weekly time frame, when the price went long, we have not had the return on the weekly levels back into this area of demand. So I'm expecting the price to run these lows and then return here. Then we should see a very strong long. I still believe that the pound is heavily bullish. We have very good fundamentals because of COVID and all of the other things. So seeing what we have here, I mean, if I'm these 3 trades, or if I put 4 on, then I'm going to make 680 for the week. £680 for the week on this challenge account is great. Probably even 700 if we're pushing the rest of the trades. But let's see what happens, guys. I think when it comes to profitability, the most important thing you want to have in mind is keep your risk management tight and keep your reward in sight. All right. That rhymes. I didn't mean to make it rhyme, but keep your risk management tight and keep your reward in sight. What do I mean by that? If you do hit your target, don't try to hang in there for a bit longer because you think the price might drop a bit more. Just get out. Take that profit. And if you want to get a smaller entry, just re-enter with a smaller lot size, a reasonable stop loss, and let the price show you what it wants to do. So for example, right here, I am in profit. I'm happy with this spike. This is exactly what I expected. However, despite everything that I do know, I am still watching this H4 area. In the next 20 minutes, okay, and I'll pull up the market watch thingy so that we can see. In the next 20 minutes, if the body of this candle closes outside of this H4 area, I am going to close this. There's no debate about it. Because then that means in my mind, we might actually have one more pullback long, which is not what I want, potentially. So whenever you're trading, guys, always have a fail safe, a plan B, and a plan C, all right, of what you're going to do. So instead of being going crazy, for example, when we had this spike up here, because I knew of the equal highs already, I wasn't too fussed about it. I was rather trying to work out, should I stay in, drag my stop loss, or should I close it? So I closed out with a minor amount of profit, but because of what I'm expecting, what I can see with the price action, I do see what the price is trying to do here. So again, guys, what I'm really watching out for right now is this H4 area. If I do see a body close above it, I will be cautious to close this and look for better entries or look for something completely different. It depends. You always need to have that 5% chance in your mind that, or 5% reasoning that the price could do something that you do not want. Okay. So my people, pound USD is in play. I've given this signal out to all of you students already. So everybody should be in. Everybody should be in Ethereum USD. All right. I'm going to have to capture this again because I didn't get the entry I wanted, and I missed out on this one, which was such a very simple entry. Stop loss was about £9, £10 max, and we've got £100 here. I mean, if you closed it right now, it is a good day anyway, but there's still more to go, and we'll be keeping our eyes on the price. Now, USD CHF has gone long. We had a bit of a manipulative spike. However, the price is approaching where we're supposed for it to go. Now, we did get stopped out of this, and the price was cheeky with this one. Really, really cheeky with this one. But nonetheless, the price action was really good, and you can see that USD CHF is flying off. The US dollar is showing us very good signs of strength. Again, guys, I'm not bullish on the US dollar long term. It's just that for the sake of where we are right now, we've had the US dollar tapering talks. We've had the FOMC minutes, and then now we have a situation where inflation is at its highest point since 1991. So in the last 30 years, we have the 30-year anniversary of an all-time high on the CPI. Now, CPI, if you're not too sure what that is the Consumer Price Index. The Consumer Price Index lets us know a measure of how expensive, or because of inflations, how much more expensive or how much less expensive something is. So right now it's around about 5.4%, which is really high. And I did say it would be higher because we've had a mass amount of new currency created by the Federal Reserve to cover the COVID situation, which means to manage that, then the cost of goods and services are going to also go up nominally as well. So this is where we are now. From in a sense, the US dollar would, from that news, would go, gain strength. But really and truly, if you're holding dollars right now, you've made a loss. But if you're holding dollar denominated assets, so property, anything, then you've just made a gain. And so this is why you are seeing some gains on stock market stuff. I mean, probably the US 30 as well probably had some gains on there. If I went to the US 30 right now, I'm sure we're going to see it. All right. Now, let me go to the US 30 here, and then I'll go to the S&P 500. So let's have a look and see what's going on here. All right, so the US 30, we can see that the price is nearing the high that it had from 2021, April, where the price is pushing long. And we've seen that the price has really recovered from last week. We had a very strong short here, and the price has bounced straight back up on his way up. Let's go to the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 has made a new all-time high on the sound of the news as well, right here. And we see even in June, the price had a very strong short. When the FOMC news came out, we had a very strong spike in the price, when they started to talk about tapering. So right now we're in an interesting position. All right. I don't know. They don't have the US 2000 here, but it's okay. But we will see this on stock markets stuff, especially. We will see movements of that nature. So keep hanging in there, guys. USD CAD is almost at the target. If you took this trade with me live, you should be in it. The target is right here before I'm looking for a short. The price may even go a bit higher and do something else. Who knows? Pound USD is still where it is. Let's go over and look at the rest of the market and see what we can grab from these trades here. So let me go over to gold. Now, gold is an interesting one. So we do have a H4 break, guys. Now, I told you there is a gap on gold, which is back up to 118.54.83. At the moment, we've had a break above, and I'm looking for the return back down here. I'm hoping to see, some good movement from gold for us to gain entry. I haven't been happy with gold. It really did mess up the progress of the trading account, the challenge account, really badly. Because of course, I should have put them to break even, but the price really did get me into believing that it was going for a short. I just wish that I was around the chance to deal with it, but I had other stuff to do. All right. So that's one thing. Don't try to do a challenge account when you're really busy because sometimes it doesn't work. All right. Now I have an alarm going off. What is the alarm for? Oh, it's an alarm for my entry. So I have an alarm for the entry, guys. So let's see here. All right. So I'm going to enter this in a moment. The price is giving us what we need for a short. So I'm going to put another short here. I can be a little bit more aggressive with this. Let me take off the alarm. Um, I'm using a minute entry to do this. Let me just make sure I've got it right. I'm in the right spot. 1 second. So my entry that I'm going for is very specific. Let me just use 2 lines so that I can get the place as to where I'm looking at going for. Let's see. All right, so the price is inside of the body and we're having a bit of a reversal. Okay, cool. So as soon as it drops a bit lower, then I can get in. I mean, to be fair, I can get in right now. It wouldn't really do any harm. I'll just sell now. It's all right. So that's the last trade for now. All right. I'm going to put my stop loss where it's supposed to be, which is inside of this manipulation bar order block. All right. I'm going to put these trades to even for the moment just to protect myself because you don't want to over leverage for no reason. I'm glad you guys have seen me trade like this live so that you can have a picture as to what I do. Now, if I get stopped out of all of these, then the maximum loss will be £7, which is not bad. But if I was to leave these all alone and let the price reverse on me, then I may be looking at something really bad, which you don't want. So at the moment, I have no worries here. I mean, we have ample stop loss. To be honest, I can actually put my stop loss here if I wanted to. Now, what I am going to do to be wise is that I am going to put an alarm roughly around about here. If the price does get here and I get alarmed on that, roughly that will make about break even. Okay. So yeah, let's see what happens there. So that alarm is kicked off. I'm going to leave this alarm here, probably even put it here so we have a bit of quicker time to react. But for now, I should expect the price. Well, we should be expecting the price to drop from where it is. And let's see what happens. So coming back here, let's see the rest of what's going on. All right. So let's look at the rest of the market and see what other opportunities are here. Now, for me, once I'm already set my foot inside of a trade, I really don't like spending time trying to do, gymnastics, if you want to call it that, to look for other trades. I prefer just to scope the market. But for the sake of those of you who haven't got any trades right now, you've just missed everything and you want to find something for yourself, then this is a great opportunity to do just that. So let's have a look here and see. Now, I'm not in pound Japanese yen. Alexandro, he's in pound Japanese yen. He's made 14,000 last week from this, and I expect him to make more. So it's been a great week last week already. If you haven't seen the results, follow the Insta, the Real Money Mics. Check it out. If you, for you students who don't follow me, go and follow me, the Real Money Mics, and follow the company Insta as well, the Wolf Group Academy. And let's have a look and see what's going on here. All right. So I'm just scanning through the pairs quickly to see what other opportunities are here. Since it's a Thursday, I mean, I don't personally like to take trades going into Friday. That's just my thing personally. I don't see the necessity of it because you already have quite a few really good trades on our hands already. And I think when you get to that stage of overloading, you get yourself into problems. Now, NZD was another candidate that I had. We had this very beautiful H1 demand zone. We had a break beneath and a return. And then the price came back here and did a very nice movement right here for us. And we're experiencing the short from that. Now, I don't think this short was going to last forever, but this is a nice short right here. And the price has returned to the supply zone, which was formed underneath right here. And this is where the price has come to. So we have a very simple A to B movement down here. And here's the C point, and we've just had the short happen. All right. Now, NZD has experienced, this spike up here because of the news that we saw. The New Zealander was very strongly bullish, and we had an 103 pip move. Now I expect the price to come back down on the other side and give us what we need. So, all right, pound USD has just done a reversal here. So you see why I have my alarm ready? All right. So I've got to be careful here. I think the price is just kind of having a retracement. I don't think this is really it. So this is something that don't try this at home if you don't know what you're doing. Just for the moment, I'm actually going to drag my stop losses just a little bit higher, far away from everything. And I'll close manually if I have to. Okay, if I take a loss on here, I don't mind. But this spike up right here, sometimes that can happen, but I have no problems with it. Again, this is a trade for the long run. And usually when a spike happens like this, the price comes straight back down to pull it. Now, if I get break even here, I may close this one and just hang on to what I have and return to the stop losses I had before. So this is the wisdom that you have to have. And I'm glad you're seeing this live. Again, don't be moved by emotions. Just know what you're doing. Okay. I know exactly what I'm doing right now. So I have no problems whatsoever. It's not comfortable when you really want the price to drop in your direction and it's not. But really, my barrier to really closing is right this at this demand zone here. Now, the specifics as to why this is not a teaching session, so I'm not going through all of that. But this is where I'm looking at, and this supply zone also. So if the price starts to break above here, so alarm goes in the middle, then I'm going to be out. If it doesn't and it continues going down and it blesses us with the short that I'm expecting, then I'm happy. Okay. But still, use your head. And if you're going to trade like this, I would say don't try to trade like this on your phone. If I was doing a challenge account phone only, which I'll do one day where I only use my phone as a challenge, I would never trade like this because on the phone there's too much, there's not enough vision for you to see the charts well enough to do this kind of trading. For you to do this kind of trading, you do need to be at home. Okay. Again, I told you I'm going to make this challenge account really realistic. It's not about how quickly I can get there, but roughly how I did it, the ups, the downs, all of the stuff, withdrawals. I'm not making it like it's a an account where I'm just going to keep flipping and flipping. Of course, that will show how good I am of a trader I am. But I want to show you the longevity. That sometimes you have great days, sometimes you have not so great days. And I believe that once you see this for yourself, I will do a handout and I called it a handout. Sorry, I will do a giveaway, and I'll be handing out prizes is what I wanted to say also for second, third, fourth runners up and stuff like that. But I want you guys just to see, how this process goes and that it can be done. All right. I will get this account to 10K. I just wish I had Ethereum right now to help me on my way there because it's such a great trade, but I'll find a way to get into it. All right. So my people, let's continue and see what we have here. So NZD/USD is on its way short. As you can see, we have a very strong short happening right now. Uh, I expect the price to continue going this way. Let's see. So right now, as to where we are with the price, remember if you do remember what I was saying, that at the moment NZD/USD is in a very interesting place in the sense that we need the price to get back down to at least this area of 66. All right, we need the 66693 area, so we have about 30 pips. Excuse me, 300 and plus pips to go. All right. Now, because this is already going, I don't see the point of trying to jump into it. I think the price has done everything it will need to do. But I am seeing the correlation here that the US dollar right now is gaining strength at a very strong rate. All right. But the only thing which will be different, which is what I'm going to end off with for this live, okay, is gold. So I'm going to pull up gold here. Now, gold, because whenever inflation increases, gold increases in value. The reason why is because many wealthy people, especially, and people with large amounts of money, corporations, institutions, know that when inflation goes up, if you're holding dollars, for example, all right, you might not lose money nominally, you might even increase nominally, but the buying power, what truly currency is supposed to be. Remember, currency is a representation of value. It's not the actual value itself, it's just a representation of the underlying asset. So in this case, if you're holding US dollars, and you have those US dollars and you're trying to you hold in US dollars in cash or in your bank account, when inflation goes up, you may have the same amount of money, but in the new financial year and that financial year from that moment onwards, all the goods and services around you are going to cost just more than it was before to get the same service, which means your net worth has just dropped in value. Okay, now if you're holding $1 billion and inflation is 5%, let's say it was 0% before and now it's 5%, okay, a short teaching for you. That means in the new financial year or whichever way you're going, 5% of $1 billion is $50 million. So in other words, your $1 billion has the buying power of $950 million. Now people say, well, I mean, if you lose out on $50 million and you've got still 950 million, then you shouldn't have a problem. However, as I would like to say it to you this way, if you wanted to go to buy a house, all right, for $1 billion and you said that I only have 950, they're not going to give you the house unless you have $1 billion. So for people who have a lot of money, it's a very bad thing. Now, it doesn't mean that during inflation that gold won't experience any losses too. It could possibly happen. But if you think about it this way, if you had two cars reversing at the same time, all right, One is a very heavy car and the one is light. If they reversed at the same speed, the lighter car is going to move a lot more quicker than the heavier car. And gold is kind of like that in the sense that if currency devaluation was to happen and we lost 80% value on the US dollar or 80% buying power, because gold is a hedge of protection, maybe you might only lose 10%. So they're both reversing, but you lose a lot less of your net worth than you would have if you hold just dollars. Okay, so why am I saying this? Gold is a go-to area. Now, silver is different because of the properties of silver. Silver can be used for a lot of industrial purposes. Is a lot more usable. Uh, is not completely inert. It does have inertness, but gold is almost completely inert unless you put it under very um, abnormal circumstances. Okay, if you don't put gold under abnormal circumstances, you could have a piece of gold from 2,000 years ago that if you dug it up, you washed it with a bit of water and stuff and soap, it will still shine like it did 2,000 years ago because gold is very inert to air. I mean, to most things, unless it's some sort of super acid. Okay. Now you can use gold, you can melt it, you can mold it into something else, but in terms of it reacting as a store of value is very stable because we know that it doesn't have the same qualities as silver. Silver. Now the reason why I know this stuff is because my background is in chemistry. I did my degree in chemistry, my master's in pharmaceutical science. But in the air, we do have a small amount of sulfur dioxide, which can react with silver. And that's why sometimes if you've seen silver that's been lying there for a very long time, it has a little bit of a green tinge to it. Okay. Unless you use some chemical agents to stop that. But silver does have that reactivity. Okay. We need silver for solar panels and we're moving into a world of green energy anyway. So silver has a lot more use case. It has a lot more demand. Gold doesn't. Now, saying this, even if Euro USD was to go long or go short or any of the pair correlation, gold doesn't always follow the same correlation as the others. Okay. Yeah. Matty says copper also. Yeah, copper as well. Copper reacts with many things. It turns green, you know, uh, under circumstances. It can turn blue when it's with water, okay, and make what we call a ligand. But the key is that gold doesn't have those properties. So gold is a good hedge of protection. So what happens in inflation? Whenever inflation goes up, gold will tend to go up also because money will start to be flooding into the gold market, which will strengthen the price of gold and weaken it against the US dollar. Okay, or vice versa. Okay, depending on which way we're going. All right. In this case, if the value of gold USD goes up, then it means it costs more for 1 ounce of gold, which means that gold is gaining strength against the US dollar comparatively. All right. So this is why I'm still watching for the long to work out exactly what gold wants to do. At the moment, it's broken past this H4 area here, and we still have a gap on the upside. Now, I haven't really seen an entry that I would like to take to go for a trade on gold, but I do believe that the price is going to do something. All right. Just to show you guys, you see how pound USD is dropping from the area. So if you see the price action is very specific here. So if you took that with me live, well done. Hold your position and let's see what the price does. All right. Let's go to where we need to go to next. So all right. Let me pull up gold here on the H4. So if I go on the H4 right here, guys, the price is just returning to this area, and this might be a break and return for us to go for a long. But I do have the fear that gold might actually not fulfill this and close beneath. Gold is a very sneaky pair. So I am watching this with a pinch of salt. I'm not too sure if gold would like to go long, but from what I see here, it looks like the price is doing a return back into the other side of supply, using this for demand and going strongly long here. But we will be able to tell sooner or later. For now, I'm not touching gold. I want to see what the price does, especially how it closes beneath here. This is the lowest, well, one of the lowest swings for the day. All right. If we get a body close beneath here, then I think I'll watch to see even more carefully what gold is doing. For now, I'm just going to leave gold alone, but I would like to just observe and see what we get from the price action here. Okay. Now, moving forward to end off here, because we've kind of finished now, I probably am going to put one more entry on here. The price seems to have done well. He's hit 2 o'clock, guys, and we haven't had a body close here. So I'm going to put a final entry on the way down just to take advantage of this opportunity here with pound USD. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a demand zone across here. I'm going to give this to all of you guys. This demand zone is the originator of this re-entry. So I'm going to give you a key here. If the price breaks beneath here, okay, and then we have a return, this will be my fourth entry, my fourth and final. Now, if there's something higher up that I can take before it gets there, then I will do. But I have no problems with taking an entry a bit lower down. Okay, I'd rather the price respects what I'm doing than I just jump in because I know it's going down. That's not how we do it, ever. Okay, so don't follow that pattern of price. All right, for now, on the M30, what I'll give you guidance on is that if the price gets back to this 1.38694, be wary of a return. If not, we should be good. All right, so I am going to leave my alarms where they are. I can put my trades back to break even here. Very simple thing to do. Put my stop losses back to break even. So effective loss is 0. All right. I'm going to adjust the stop loss of this trade in a moment. What I am going to do is I'm going to keep this stop loss right here for now. And then also what I am going to do is that this trade that I have right at the top here, I'm going to keep this at break even also. All right. So now we have positions. We should all be in profit. Now the account has dropped quite a bit, but we're catching up. I mean, if I had Ethereum on here, then this would be a lot more. I keep thinking about Ethereum because it was such a great trade. I hate missing my own trades, but we're in profit. This should continue. As I said, the aim is to make 670 from this. Now, I'm not over risking. I'm effectively using around about 2 to 3%. I'm just recycling the risk and compounding on the effect of that and taking advantage of the money being given to us by the market. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that live, and I'll see you on the next